Many countries opened up their prisons and dropped them into the United States. Those are the people who are getting out. And we have a lot of heart. They said, you got to lighten up on this. We have a lot of heart for people. They came in illegally, but they're good people, and they're working now on farms, and they're working in luncheonettes and hotels and all. And we're looking to get the criminals out right now, the criminals. And I think it's very important. I mean, every once in a while you see a story, we take somebody. He should be out because they came in illegally. So in theory, they should be. But we're focused on the murderers, the drug dealers, the mentally insane. We have a lot of mentally insane killers. I mean, you can't even talk to them. It'd be nice if you could have a little reason, but you can't even reason. These are seriously ill people. You have a couple of countries where they were loaded up. Their mental institutions and insane asylums were loaded to the gills. They couldn't get. They're empty now. But they're filling up because we're bringing them all back. We know where they came from.
Wow. Way to drop that bombshell before the midterms, Donald. I'm pretty sure none of your fellow Republicans want to get reelected or anything. Jesus. You know what's the harm when you say this? You're basically encouraging other people to come to America illegally, because this is a phenomenon that the academics haven't noticed yet. But when you have a Joe Biden, and like the policy on immigration is lax, and everyone knows it, you have a lot of grifters, right? You have like the cartels, you have coyotes that start smuggling people, you have opportunistic individuals that simply try to cross over. This is what Trump was saying, right? Like other world leaders, like they will start emptying the asylums and the prisons. Like that generally happens. Meanwhile, if you have a firm stance and you're like, we're going to shoot anyone that tries to cross the border. This is what the Soviets did, right? The Australians did it as well. Basically, when you do something like that, people stop coming, right? So what I'm trying to say is that the rhetoric itself affects migration. If you're basically saying, oh, well, we're focusing on the bad guys first. Don't get me wrong, like I understand the tactic, because it's really good PR. If a leftist tries to stop ICE now, 10 out of 10 times he's basically trying to prevent the deportation of a child molester, of a gangbanger, of a serial killer. Like almost every single time you see a leftist spurg out on TikTok and physically preventing an ICE member from doing his job, the ICE member immediately reveals who they were deporting, and the left looks like shit. Okay, so like this is the tactic that the Donald is doing. And especially since there are so many criminals, I think like, yes, he can afford to deport those. However, when you're basically saying, yeah, we're focusing on those, so like everyone else is a good person, you're incentivizing other people to come to America illegally. Now, there is something else that needs to be mentioned. And people need to understand this. Right-wingers do not want to fix migration. Because it's a really good rallying cry. It's a really great platform. If right-wingers manage to fix migration, then it's very difficult for them to get votes next election. It's true. The same thing is with the Democrats. Like, for example, when Obama was in power, he had the opportunity to codify Roe v. Wade into law. He didn't want to do it. Why didn't he want to do it? Because he doesn't give a shit. Okay? He genuinely doesn't give a shit about abortion personally. It doesn't benefit him in any way. But he knew that at some point the Supreme Court is going to strike down Roe v. Wade, and that's when the Democrats can campaign again on that issue. It's how politics work. A lot of people don't understand this, right? But there is this saying that the Democrats are the party of the poor and the Republicans are the party of the rich. This is why the Democrats want to keep you poor, why the Republicans want to make you rich. Like, you need to understand that the people making politics, like, they're not stupid. They actually understand these things a lot better than the public. And the manipulation is also important, right? So this is why you have Maloney, You have Donald Trump now. You have even the Prime Minister of Japan. In the UK, you have Nigel Farage. Like, all of these people, they are really big on the anti-immigration rhetoric, and they're going to do mass deportations, and the moment that you elect them, all of the illegals will vanish. But the moment they actually get elected, you notice that they ain't doing shit. And the reason they ain't doing shit is exactly what I said. There is absolutely no benefit for right-wingers to actually fulfill this campaign promise. Secondly, once in a blue moon, you actually do have someone that tries to fulfill it. I think that Donald Trump actually did his best and is still doing his best, even though people criticize him. But a lot of people do not want to understand the reality of the situation. They genuinely believe that Donald Trump signs a piece of paper and then boom, everyone vanishes. That's not how it works, okay? In order to deport a person, you need to first catch them. And you need to catch them taking into account that leftists and activists are not just trying to prevent the enforcers from catching them, but they're also threatening the ICE agents. They're also harassing the ICE agents. Like, it's a very difficult job. But you need to catch them. And then you need to house them someplace, right? Until they wait their court date. And then you also need to have a lawyer in case there's an NGO that tries to defend them and prevent them from being deported. And then you have to pay for the planes. And more importantly, you need to have diplomatic connections with another nation state. Because you can't just drop them off. Like, you can't just parachute them over another nation, right? Like, in some cases, there are nation states that don't want them back. And that's difficult. And you also have cases where the people don't even have any sort of identification, so you don't even know where to send them. What I'm trying to say is that deporting someone is very expensive. Meanwhile, what does it take to get an illegal migrant into the United States? Well, all it takes is to do nothing, right? It costs $0 from the government to get illegals in. Joe Biden, for example, who didn't give a shit about the borders, in fact, placed Kamala Harris as the border czar, probably to make sure that nothing is actually happening to prevent them from going in. $0, right? And every single person that goes in costs a fortune to pull out. And on top of that, the rhetoric, right? Like, when Joe Biden goes out and he says that he's not deporting people, or you have, like, the concept of a sanctuary city, you have, like, all these things. Well, if that happens, then people are going to be more likely to immigrate, right? So, Donald Trump, despite the fact that a lot of people don't like him, I think he actually did more than Meloni Chan when it comes to deportations. And there's also a statistic that doesn't get displayed, which is like how many people were turned away at the border. I mean, if you have Joe Biden and he doesn't give a shit about the border, the number of immigrants is a lot higher than if you have someone that actively does try to patrol and defend the border, right? Still, there is also another thing to mention. Migration and being pro-migration is bipartisan. The right and the left love migration. And this is due to the fact that the people paying for the politicians' campaigns are big corporations. Big corporations like having wages depressed. Without migration, they would have to pay people more. And so, a lot of these corporations, they actually lobby politicians, left and right, in order to not deport their workforce. It's modern-day slavery, pretty much. Like what Trump is saying now. It's like, oh, yes, well, we have migrants that are nice. So they're illegals. They're not really citizens. They don't have the same protections, and at any point, they can be reported to ICE. So put yourself into the shoes of the corporation employing them. They can't unionize. If they complain, you can literally just threaten them with deportation. They probably work for less than what an American would work for. They don't necessarily have to do a better job. They have to do a good enough job.